Greetings, Algebrainiacs! Welcome to the Johnson Kendra video.
But it's not an hour.
Yeah, you keep saying that. One of these days. One of these days.
Alright, so we did expressions last time. This time we're doing equations. So what's going to be there?
Equal sign.
Alright, cool.
Alright, here are some steps to follow. First thing you should always do is get all the variables on the same side of the equal sign.
Get your cows on the same side of the fence.
Yeah. Move them over. Get numbers on the other side. So whatever your side you put the x's, put the numbers on the other side.
Okay.
Isolate the variable, usually by division, and then mentally check, see if it works.
Do I need to show the check on paper?
Not if it's mentally,
Okay. Cool.
because mentally means in your brain.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah. Okay, here's the first one. All right, I see a couple of cows.
Okay, so we want our cows on the same side of the fence.
All right, so let's move the 5x over.
I always like to say, I should get rid of those because they look like division. I like to say, you really could move the 8x too, but if you think about moving the smaller, you're a monkey and you got to swing over the smaller bundle of bananas.
Uh-huh.
You won't get negatives. The monkey's lazy. He only wants to carry the small bundle.
Monkeys must be mathematicians. So moving that 5 keeps the x's positive.
Now wait a minute, I just wrote minus 5x, but we should probably tell them why. Why do you subtract?
Because it's a positive 5x, and
Oh,
you want
okay.
it to disappear on the right.
That makes it cancel.
Yeah.
So this side is left with, remember that equal sign just stays right in the middle of your whole problem. That becomes negative 21 on this side. These are now like terms, so remember like terms, you just combine. Those are like terms because they have the same variable, and when you have like terms, you just work with the coefficients. So what is 8x minus 5x?
Should be 3 of them left. 3
Okay.
x's left.
And nothing happened to the 12, so that stays there. So now we picked left for the x's, so now what?
We gotta pick right for the numbers, so the 12 needs to move to the other side.
How are you going to move it?
Subtract. Get it to disappear on the left.
So this is 3x, just left on this side. How about the other side?
So minus 21 minus 12 is minus 33.
They're both negative, so I just add them in my head.
Yep.
So now we did that. The next thing in the hints said to isolate the variable. So what should you do?
Divide by 3.
Okay, because that will undo multiplying by 3. Divide by 3 on both sides. That is...
Negative 1, 1.
Okay, now I said to mentally check, or you said to mentally check, but really what are we doing? We're doing 8 times negative 11. We're replacing the variable and seeing if that is equal to this. And you would want to do that in your head. So this is on this side negative 88, and then we're going to add 12. I think that's negative 76. And then we do the same thing on this side, multiply those two together, subtract negative 21. You need to get the same thing on both sides, and when you do, you know it works.
Yay.
So make sure though, I see a lot of kids write negative 76 as the answer to the problem.
No, 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 no.
This is
Right.
the answer. Let's do another one.
Surely.
Don't call me Shirley. I'm a name.
Okay.
Alright, cows on the same side of the fence.
I got 4 t's and 2 t's.
But this one's negative 4 2
So
t's.
if I swing that one to the left,
It's a smaller bundle of bananas.
negative 4 is smaller than 2. Yeah.
Put my little tails on the t's.
Yeah, monkeys have tails, so we gotta put them on there too. Alright, 2 plus 4 is 6 of those t's. And then I want numbers on the right because I got t's on the left. So add 3, get rid of that one. So 6t is 12. Divide by 6. We got 2.
And again, you can mentally check.
Alright.
Alright, next up.
Okay. You might have to distribute first.
So what are we doing with that?
Take 2 times each of those. 2i and minus 6. Hey, I see a minus 6 and a plus 6. Yay!
They're like terms.
They are.
That's those cancel.
There's 0 right there. Divide by 2. Hey, easy breezy, beautiful.
Cover girl?
Here we go. And, alright, now we have to distribute a couple of times. That's okay. So distribute, I get 6x and minus 12. 18 minus 4x. Okay, I got cows on both sides of the fence. I need to swing the -4 to the other side.
So smaller bundle of cows.
Okay.
And I'm adding because it was subtract.
Right, so this is still 0 on the right. 10x minus 12 equals 18. Bring the 12 over to get the numbers on the right. 10x equals 30. Okay, looking good. Cruising right along.
Alright, I'm going to tell you, I picked stuff that came out to be whole numbers.
Good job. So
Because
if
I
it
make
doesn't,
my own videos, so I can pick whatever
do
I
what you
want.
want. But again, if it doesn't come out where it divides evenly, just leave it as a reduced fraction.
Yeah, if it had been 27 over 10,
That's as reduced as it gets. So
Right.
leave it.
and don't do decimals unless they terminate, meaning stop.
Right.
And really, I don't want decimals anyway, but.
Decimals
Alright.
are the devil. Fractions are our friends. Just remember that.
Alright, here's a word problem, your favorite.
Woohoo!
Alright, carpet on the right has a perimeter. What does it mean to have perimeter?
Perimeter. Peri. Like a periscope where you look around. Peri means around.
Okay, so it's the distance around the outside.
Okay.
Alright, what are the dimensions?
Well, I need all the outsides.
But it said, oh, it doesn't say. We're just assuming it's a rectangle.
Yeah.
So that means that this side is also 3x, and this side is also x.
Alright.
So if you want to find the perimeter of something, you have to add up all the sides. So we would take, just start with one, let's start here.
X plus 3x plus x plus 3x.
So for this problem, the perimeter is
8x.
8x. Okay, and then we know the value of the perimeter, it's 320 feet. So if we do that, that will help us find the missing x value. So what would you do?
Well, just divide by 8 to get the variable alone.
So that's 40 feet, but wait a second.
We're not done.
Right, because this asks for,
What the actual dimensions are, like what is it in feet?
so we just found what x is. So we did find one side of the carpet, it's 40 feet. How would we find the other side of the carpet?
Well, 3 times x is 3 times 40, so that'd be 120.
Is there a way to check my answers?
You could add up 120, 40, and then another 120 and 40 and make sure it's 320.
That's a good idea.
Cool.
Okay, your favorite problems are next.
Literal equations. These are literally cool.
All right, I always like to give a hint. What would you do if the problem had numbers instead of letters? And honestly, you'll probably answer your own questions a lot of times if you just think about that.
Yeah. Put numbers in if you're not sure what to do.
Okay, so the first hint that we have, we'll start with the simple ones and we'll get more difficult. So to undo a fraction on each side, what do? You multiply by the reciprocal. All right, so here's an example. By the way, sometimes when we type on the smartboard, we can't type fractions, so that means 1/2. But you should make your fractions like this.
Yeah, don't do the slanted line, it
Yep.
gets confusing.
So this says area equals 1/2 base times height.
Hey, area of triangle.
Yes. So we want to solve for b. So that's what it means to do a literal equation. It means to isolate one of the other variables. And it's got the fraction out in front, so we're going to use this hint, which says to multiply by the reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of 1/2?
You just flip it over, so it'll be 2 over 1.
Which is just 2.
Yeah.
Yep, so multiplying by 2 on both sides, what that does is it makes the fraction cancel out. The left side would be what?
2a.
So even though I don't know what the numerical value is, we just leave it as an expression. We canceled out the 1/2, so now b and h are left on the right. We want to solve for b.
Well, if that h was like a 2, I would divide both sides by 2.
Right,
But it's an h, so I'll divide both sides by h.
very good. So that cancels. b is equal to 2a over h.
2, I get it. Alright, so the variables just stay in there like numbers.
Right. Yep. Just remember to get rid of fractions, do the reciprocal. Ours was 2 because it was 1/2. But if it were like 3/4, you would do 4/3. All right, this one's a little tricky. So it started with,
Aka, what's aka? Aka, aka.
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 Alright, so this hint is take out a common factor, otherwise known as.
Oh, AKA. Also known as.
Oh yeah, also known as. Just kidding.
Undistributed. Huh.
It's not a real word, but
No,
whatever.
we like it.
So we know if we have some like terms, 3x and 5x, and we're adding them together, I think you know the answer is 8x, but what are you really doing?
We're going to take out the x, and that leaves 3 plus 5 is how you get the 8.
Yeah, you're looking at this and saying, okay, those are like terms because they share a variable. Let's forget about the variable for a second and just work with the coefficients. Add them together.
Mhm.
So if you look, it's like we took this little x, and here's my fun word, undistributed it.
Yes.
So let's practice with letters because this is what they're going to see on their assignment.
So what does that have in common? An x.
The x is common. The coefficients, which happen to be letters here, are what?
B and C.
So those should go in parentheses together. What goes in between them?
A plus.
So it's going to be b plus c in parentheses in front of x. Would it be wrong to write this?
No.
No.
So you can put this undistributed term in the front or in the back.
Right. Doesn't matter. How about this one?
Well, again, you have to take the x out, so it's d minus e in the parentheses, and then the
And
x
then the
stays
x.
out.
Okay, so let's actually go through and solve an equation that contains a situation like this. So the goal is for us to solve for x,
So take the x out of the first two terms,
because they're like terms. So x is going here, and I've got parentheses. What's going in
a
there?
plus b.
But what about this minus 15?
Well, for solving for x, we need to get everything else out of the way. So the minus 15 I want to put on the other side.
So add 15 on both sides. I'm gonna have to move over. I didn't leave myself enough room.
Okay, and then the x is what we really want to get alone.
So what's in between a plus b and x?
Multiply sign.
So
yes.
what do you think we do?
I'm going to divide
By
a plus b.
good on both sides.
So a plus b kind of acts like its own little term.
Yeah, it's like a number.
Yeah.
So final answer is this. And if you make your fraction bar big enough, you don't need parentheses down there.
Huh?
Oh, that was just the box. No wonder I didn't have enough room.
You did.
Silly, silly.
All right, to clear the denominator, this is a big deal. This makes problems much easier if you do this first.
So let's do one with numbers first.
Okay, you can multiply underline every like 3 times. Because some kids forget. Every term by the least common denominator. 2 and 7 are denominators. What's the least common denominator?
We learned this like a long time ago, like elementary school or
I know.
something. So
2
I
and
think
7.
it's 14.
Yeah.
So what did you actually do though to get that?
Multiply 2 times 7.
Okay, so to get rid of fractions altogether, you could take every term and multiply it by
Even the 3?
even the 3, and that's really important.
Every
Okay, and you
term.
keep going. I'm not going to finish this problem, but that's the term
Okay,
that you would multiply by. Does that make sense?
nice to me.
Okay, so let's just do a practice finding the least common denominator here, and then we'll do some solving in a little bit.
Ooh, well, let's see. 2 times 7 was 14.
So we took the two denominators and we multiplied them to come up with this.
So my 2 denominators are C and D.
So you would have to multiply by
CD.
CD. Okay, I think I'm getting it.
Okay.
Let's do one that we solve all the way through, getting x alone.
Oh, I'm almost scared.
Don't be afraid.
I could do this. I think I can. I think I can. All right, common denominator. Well, there's only one.
There is only one denominator.
The
It is A. So the least common denominator would be A.
Okay.
So we're going to go through and multiply every
everything
term,
by A.
even the B.
Okay. So in the front, I have AD. Then the next one, the A's cancel. I'm
That's
left
the
with
whole point.
2x.
Okay.
And then I have AB.
I like how you went alphabetical.
Okay. thank
Okay,
you
remember the
very
goal,
much.
get x by itself.
All right. Isolate the term with x, so I'm going to subtract AB. Now, I can't really subtract AD and AB because they're different, so we leave it. And then to get x really alone, I'm going to divide by 2.
Can I just do like one term?
No, we got to do the whole side.
Or do them individually, that would be the same thing. So x is equal to AD minus AB.
All over 2.
let's do another one.
Alright. Now we have 2, so multiply them together.
The two denominators are a and b, so if I multiply them together, it is ab.
Huh?
So we're going to multiply every term by ab, and I'm going to try to be really careful when I set this up so you guys can see. I'm putting them over 1 just so you can see what happens with the fractions.
Okay.
So
that
how do you
first
multiply
one,
fractions?
You multiply straight across, but there is a shortcut to make it easier. If you have same thing on top and bottom, you can cross them out like they reduce to a 1.
Okay,
And then
I see.
b times x is just bx. The next one I don't have, well, I can cancel the 1s, and I just have ab. The next one I can cancel a b and a b, so I have x times a, or ax.
Just because number a is kind of like a number.
Right.
Okay, ultimate goal is to get x alone.
Wow, I see a couple x's. Those cows gotta be on the same side of the fence.
Okay, what ones do you want to move?
Move the b.
So subtract bx, because right now it's positive bx. That will leave us ab. How about this side?
Ax minus bx.
Okay, x is on the same side of the fence, but it's not alone.
It's been distributed, so I need to undistribute it.
Oh, that's this thing.
So take the x out back, and then a minus b.
Okay,
Then
and then
undo the multiply by divide. Wow, we're getting there.
wow, this used like tons of steps.
That's like everything we learned all in one problem.
Okay, so ab, that's like a times b over a minus b. Oh, can I do? Would I be able to just like do these things?
Oh my, I think there's a lesson here that you need to learn. Every time you do this, see those red slashes? When you have a plus sign in the top or bottom, you may not cancel those. Plus and minus signs are like glue. And if you cancel, a kitten will die.
Are you serious?
I saw it on the internet. It's gotta be true.
Oh, okay. That made me nervous. All right.
So, see how there's a minus sign on the bottom? That means no canceling.
Okay, I'll undo.
Bad kitty. I mean, bad Johnson.
All right, don't do that.
Okay,
Never cancel. It's a rational equation over addition or subtraction.
right.
All right. I think that's it.
I think so too.
Oops.
Alright,
Let's be sure.
make sure.
Okay,
There, blank page.
sweet.
We're done.
Have a good one.
See ya. If we do